threat, shoot, dribble, pass, man, we cover ball like we in the net. Triple threat, Trey, Art, and Chep, you can catch us all on the internet. Triple threat, we don't feel the press, we just give them stats, opinion facts, you can give them next. We got now, we shut it down, this triple threat.
When the show time is go time, my time is your time, and I appreciate you for it. Welcome back to Triple Threat. I'm your host, Chep Woods. To my right, I got my bro, Will DeVille. To my left, Artty Bucco. Alright, we approaching the play-in. The play-in is tomorrow, April 11th. Been a long season, a lot of ups and downs, guys, so we're going to have some good discussions about the play-in and the playoffs. But first, last week, we made a prediction. It was the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns. My boy Will wasn't here. Shout out Trey. But I believe y'all both picked the Denver Nuggets.
We definitely did.
And I picked the Phoenix Suns.
Definitely did.
So just real quick, let's just recap. Did you get a chance to peep the game?
I picked it.
Peeped it?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see it? I saw bits and pieces. Early on, I peeped that my prediction likely was gonna happen because Denver didn't play any of their starters.
Of course.
So I'm like, yeah. But I'm interested to know what you thought when you saw that Denver wasn't starting nobody and Phoenix still had their starters in the game.
Honestly, Phoenix still having their starters play. They making a statement. That's what that game was. Denver. I don't know what that was about. I don't know why y'all didn't start them. I understand y'all number one in the West. That's fine, but I would have started my guys. I definitely would have played my guys. That right there. But the fact that they stuck in that game, it was a close game. It was 4-point difference. But Phoenix did they thing. We got Chris Paul shooting what he shot 7 threes that game. He ain't never did nothing like that. He probably ain't gonna never do nothing like that again.
Come on, man.
CP3, I love you, but nah, stay in the mid range. But you did your thing. What do you have? 25 or 24, if I'm not mistaken.
25.
25. There we go. KD walking out with 29. Exactly what he was supposed to do. Exactly what they were supposed to do. Yeah, that's it, man. That's what it was. Statement game. You can't take nothing away from the Phoenix Suns at this point, man. They letting y'all know, please don't count us out in the West. I seen that. But the fact that it was a close game a little bit lets me know that the Denver Nuggets are still super solid.
Exactly. So, how you feeling?
I'm going to say the complete opposite of what you're saying. And only for this reason. Denver Nuggets has something to prove by not starting their starters. They telling the world that we deep. We got some other players that can actually do something. And it's like they already had the number one seed wrapped up. So it's like they could have had nothing to play for, but other guys went out there and they fought and they showed the world, hey, yo, it ain't just the starters over here. We can make a run and we come into play.
Of course.
For sure.
Absolutely. And that's my sentiment. Bruce Brown had the game high, 31 points. Denver Nuggets deep. I think it's a lot of pressure on them. In the West, as far as you say you don't understand why they didn't play their starters, I ain't really mad at them. I don't really feel like it was a statement game for them. I feel like for Phoenix, it was more so about positioning, getting playoff positioning, seeding positioning. It's more so than, of course, a statement too, but Denver, they number one seed. They ain't have to really make no statement to me, But before we move on, let me get your final thoughts on the recap.
I want to recap with Will. That's fine. I understand that. Like I said, I agree with you about them being solid, but 7 games. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta rotate players out, foul trouble, Lord forbid something happen to one of these guys. If these guys got to step up in a 7-game series and they not starters, Bruce Brown, all right, you ain't gonna do that no more. You know what I mean? I don't see him getting another 30-point game. I don't even see him honestly having a 20-point game in the playoffs. They team's solid, but they ain't stacked up enough to make a push in the playoffs by themselves. They can't do that again.
They don't have to.
They can't do that's fine. Like I said, Lord forbid anything happens to the team. As long as they stay healthy, stay solid, cool. But hey, don't do that no more. All right, that's cool right now. That's all right now.
You talk about staying healthy.
That's
why they set their starters
and
to maintain their health.
I'm fine with that.
They also wanted to give their bench some confidence, get them some extra minutes, some extra shots, some extra possessions before this playoff start, so that they know their key roles and they know, hey, this is what we need y'all for. We need y'all. We need this energy. We need this burst off the bench because this is what's going to get us to the next level. And this game was really one of those things, because if we're looking at a potential second round Phoenix against Denver, then I feel like Denver didn't want to show all of their cards right away. So it's like, hey, dig this. These is the folk that you really got to worry about, because you know what you're going to get with the starters. So I feel like they was previewing the second round, and I hope that we get a Phoenix Nuggets. Right.
He wasn't previewing it. We ain't get the matchups, but I feel you. So, man, Joel Embiid put on a show on April 4th against the Celtics. All right, he scored half the team points, 52 out of 103. All right, now the Sixers beat the Celtics on their home floor by 2 points. Everybody played except Jaylen Brown, pretty much. Man, was you surprised that Joel Embiid's performance, and does that solidify his spot as MVP?
I'm never surprised that Joel Embiid scoring 50 points.
Okay.
I can never be surprised at that. He was, 52 and 13. He had a lot of rebounds, too. It's okay. That was a statement for the MVP race. I'll give him that. I'll definitely give him.
It was a statement, or did it solidify?
Because it's the end of the season. They already got their playoff spot pretty much clinched. I don't honestly believe that. No, I honestly do believe that could be a solidifying game for him, for the MVP. In all honesty, after that performance, I feel like can't nobody in the league say he doesn't deserve an MVP after that performance. What do you think, Bill?
You say you rooting for Giannis. I feel like Joel Embiid needs to get the MVP because they done played with him for too long, and I feel like he's been really showing his grit this year. He's the leading scorer in the NBA. You feel me? He's a big piece to his team. Like, that team runs on Joel Embiid. And if we're talking about the most valuable player, I really believe that Embiid is a more valuable player for his team overall this year than, say, a Jokic or Giannis.
100% agree.
Man, and I think the NBA right now would agree with you, because he does lead the NBA leader ladder board. So y'all know my pick, man. My pick was Joel. And with him sitting out against Denver, I was a little disappointed and thought that might kind of slight him on the MVP race. But then I looked up and saw, I didn't see this game. I actually caught like the last couple minutes of it. But to see the man score half the points, put the team on his back. Did y'all hear what Doc Rivers said?
Needed that.
He said he biased, and I might be a little biased too, but the MVP race is Ovito. Like before we move on, what y'all think would need to happen at this point for the man not to win MVP? Ooh. It's a regular season award, but the playoffs matter, I would say, but because people still take it into account when they vote. So if they lose in the first round, you think it's over with for them?
If Joker or Giannis go crazy in the first and he happens to fumble the bag and they get booted out, then they might yank it and be like, and that might be his last chance at an MVP, because that's going to move his stock down tremendously if he loses in the first round.
No.
You mean last chance in his career or just this season?
Yes, this season.
Of course.
To get the MVP. It's like it's over with for his ass. Yeah.
It's definitely over with for him. If any type of severe L. If he get down to 3 losses in the first round,
Oh
me
yeah,
personally,
everybody gonna be questioning him.
it's going to be a big question for me, just off the strength of what's going on. Where's that 52? And it looked real easy.
But if he get 3 losses and win the series, that's another
Game
story,
7
though,
is different. You
know?
understand? But with y'all being the number 3 seed at this point, you better not let it go game 7.
Especially against Brooklyn.
You better not let this go
Hey,
game 7.
don't play with Mikal, man.
Mikal
been going crazy.
But look,
What do you say? Mikal been going
we
crazy.
not gonna let that's my thing. If that's the only thing. First round, 3rd, y'all playing the 6th. You better not let this go 7 games.
Especially with Embiid's record of game 7s, I'm pretty sure Kawhi put them out in a game 7 on a whim a few years back, and that still haunts him. So it's like if this first round thing was to go to a game 7 again, that would be bad for Philly because everybody's gonna go back to that. Like, hey, yo,
but you don't want to go to game 7 in the first round.
You definitely
period. That means you're not superior.
You want to get it over with. You want to get your rest, and you want to, wait for whoever next. You don't want to be going to game 7, especially with home court advantage. Like, you know what I'm saying? With MVP candidate. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, it's crazy. So the Dallas Mavericks' future is looking shaky. They made the Western Conference Finals last year. And right before the trade deadline, they were sitting in the 4th seed of the West.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after acquiring Kyrie Irving, they have not made the playoffs. We all know Luka Magic is my boy. Big fan of the Dallas Mavericks. Mm-hmm. So we all know how I feel. The devastation. Mm-hmm. But how you feeling, Bucco, about a team that was borderline, not super in the conversation, but a slight had contendership?
I feel terrible for the Dallas Mavericks. I feel terrible for Luka, just because he's a superstar, and they should be championship contenders. In all honesty, I feel like he's a championship contender. The roster that they have, he always make them look solid. Just put him on his back every single game, every single season. So I feel bad for Luka. As far as them acquiring Kyrie, I feel like that was a good move for them, in all honesty. Who wouldn't want to have Kyrie on their team? But then that comes into, we got ball control and how this ball gonna move and where it's gonna go, and decision making. When you got more than one person making decisions on the court, opposed to having one coach, and this one coach trying to push plays through one person and push plays through this other person. Now you got a person that you can run a team through, coming on a team that you already got a person that you running this team through. You got to make plays for this man, and I just don't feel like that they were ready. That they were ready for a Kyrie to come over there. Good pick. I don't think they were ready for a Kyrie to come over there. If Kyrie does leave, hopefully he lands somewhere nice, and I do feel like the Mavericks going to bounce back, regardless whether he stay or leave. I feel like they're going to bounce back. If he stay there, y'all going to see a whole new Mavericks, and Luka is going to be crazy because they're going to spread the floor even more. In all honesty, if they get it, as long as they big man stay well, and as long as he get to working on his mid-range and his outside game, they're going to spread the floor very well. And the Dallas Mavericks should be in the conversation next season, in my opinion.
All right, Will.
I'd say the Mavericks, I feel like personally, it's something going on with the organization, because everybody's calling this the Kyrie trade, but I'm looking at the Jalen Brunson trade because he meant so much to that team, and it's showing now. They're saying that it's upper management and they want this draft pick or whatever. They're trying to rebuild, but I really feel like without a defensive anchor, you look at like a team like the Golden State Warriors. Without a defensive anchor on the team really suffers. And it's like you can have the best offense in the league, but if you can't stop nobody, then you're not getting far.
Okay. So I like you brought up the Jalen Brunson trade. That poses a question. The Mavericks not making the playoffs, do we feel like we want to put that on Luka and Kyrie, Luka or Kyrie, the coach, the front office, with two superstar level players? And again, when they acquired him, they was not even fighting for the play, and they had playoff position. Yeah. Ain't no way anybody would have thought that they wouldn't have made the playoffs. So who would you look to say like, man, you dropped the ball?
The person that okayed that trade and pushed that paper through to say, yes, we're going to take this trade in the middle of the season. A superstar player that you pretty much don't have to build a team chemistry around. You cannot put a Kyrie Irving in. He already a different type of player just based off of his personality alone. Kyrie's different. And on top of that, the last few teams he's been on pretty much been like a centerpiece. They worked on them. It wasn't no middle of the season trades for him with those teams. It was always, hey, off season, he here. Just with the Celtics, he was there, and that was pretty much his team when he was there. Boom, he go over to Brooklyn. Now when he's in Brooklyn, you got three guys that's getting over there at the same time. Three superstars, so they got a chance to learn how to work together, even though they didn't play much together. They had a chance to learn how to work together, to play together before the actual season made a difference of whether you were going to the playoffs or not. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they jumped a gun with that, and that's whoever pushed the okay. I feel like it's their fault. I feel like they jumped the gun with that trade.
So somebody in the front office, you agree, disagree? How you feel?
Definitely a front office thing. For me, I feel like Kyrie Irving has been a scapegoat or like a distraction for a lot of the things that they're doing in the front office. I really feel like they didn't want to not make it back to the Western Conference Finals and really try to rebuild, because if you look at their team this year anyway, and the West is so tight. So I feel like the front office toward the last couple of games of the season, they even started benching the starters. It was just like, hey, we're not even trying to, make the playoffs no more, because when they was 5 games out, they could have still made the play-in. But it's like after a while, the front office was like, I feel like it's something bigger at play within the front office, because the way that they did that was kind of like suspect. You feel what I'm saying?
All right, this whole notion of a rebuild, I don't know if so it's a trade that they it's a draft pick that they traded that they're trying to keep.
Mm-hmm.
They would have made the playoffs play in, they'd had to get rid of that to New York.
Mm.
So you got that as a factor. But a rebuild with Luka, I doubt it. Like, they was already saying that Luka, the organization was worried about Luka demanding the trade request in 2024. So a rebuild, Luka not on that. He done been there long enough. Like, I just personally think that Kyrie Irving wasn't what the team needed.
Yeah.
Right? They got rid of their defense. Because, think about it. You had Jalen Brunson last year. Now you got Kyrie Irving. No offense to Jalen. He's incredible. But I'll take Kyrie. But you get rid of Vanderbilt. You get rid of, your defensive core. And even if you would have made the playoffs, you're not going to get far without defense. So with Kyrie ducking the media, after the last game, he ducked the media when they wanted to talk to him about his future with the Mavs. I don't expect him to stay. Mm-hmm. So they definitely got to figure something out, and make up for the Brunson trade, and make up for getting rid of all of their defense, and get Luka somebody to where he don't have to have 99.9% usage.
Mm-hmm.
All right, April 9th was an eventful day in the NBA, fellas. I'm talking about multiple little altercations on the bench. You had some injuries, some monster nights by rookies, and by what Shaq say the others. So and not only just yesterday, but lead up to the playoffs has been pretty eventful. So injuries. Paul George gonna be sitting out. Russ just had his revenge game against the Lakers. Man, like Bucco, how you feeling about all of the NBA madness that been coming up, man?
I'm loving the aggression. I'm loving the animosity leading up to the playoffs. That's gonna let the world know. Hey, let's watch this, man. Let's watch this right now. We pushing on the bench. We hitting each other in the chest. We getting suspensions. You know what I'm saying? Technicals, and we throwing middle fingers up in the middle of the game. Y'all was just teammates 4 days ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm excited, man. The playoffs got everybody hot. You can see the tension. You can feel it. You know what I mean? So you can feel it just watching the game at home. I love it. Hey, look, it ain't hurting me. Y'all ain't hurting each other. So in all actuality, the team camaraderie may not be there right now. We arguing, about where you should be or where you need to be on the floor, whatever the case may be. But in all actuality, that don't mean nothing.
Speaking of hurting each other, I mean, Jaden McDaniels punched the wall and broke his hand.
He hurt himself.
You know what I mean?
He
So
hurt
I
his
mean,
own self.
what's your assessment of that? Like, how you feeling about that move?
That's stupid.
Okay.
That's stupid.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay.
That's
Stupid.
That's so stupid. You got $1 million hands. Why are you punching the wall, dog?
Yeah.
You know how much it costs to build this wall? A good $17, $25, $40, and you gonna break your hand on it? That's ridiculous. I ain't never been that emotional. They getting emotional right now. All this extra tension got them emotional. You know what I'm saying? You fighting your mans. I don't know what's going on with everybody right now, but
It's playoffs coming, man. It's something in the air. It's a certain type of intensity. And it's like, if you look at the standings, everything has been real close. People need to know where they're going to be. They're trying to get their proper seedings. Like every minute, every play, every game counts, because really health is going to be the biggest thing going into the playoffs, because we've seen it time and time again over the seasons. An injury can literally cost you your title hopes.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So it's like everybody is trying to stay healthy, but also it's just the intensity in these games are so high right now because people are fighting for seeding. They're fighting for a chance to just get into playoffs, and it's only going to get higher and higher as we get deeper into the playoffs, because this means something to a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And on top of Jaden McDaniels breaking his hand, Jaylen Brown just recently cut his hand. Right? Rudy Gobert suspended. I believe
For throwing hands.
For throwing hands. I think that he gonna miss their playing game, if I'm not mistaken.
Tough.
Who they got? They got the Lakers.
Emotional outburst.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta play the Lakers for this play-in.
So they ain't got Jaden McDaniels or Rudy Gobert.
They wasn't going to win anyway.
But man, their chances just got a lot slimmer.
Yeah.
Over with for them.
So-
They knew that season was over, that game. That's why they was like, man, you know what?
Yeah.
So the play-in starts tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
By the time everybody's seeing this, day one of the play-in will be over with. So let's make some predictions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow we got the Hawks in the Heat game, and we also got the Lakers in the Timberwolves game.
Mm-hmm.
So Bucco, who you think gonna edge the Miami Heat Atlanta Hawk game?
The Miami Heat game, I'm going with the Miami Heat. They not playing. They ain't playing with nobody. They're gonna keep that seventh. They're gonna keep that 7th seed for sure. And Trey, you're gonna have to fight for that 8th seed. I don't see y'all beating them. Solid team. I don't see y'all beating Miami. And as far as this Lakers game goes, the Lakers and the Wolves. Like I said, the Wolves, y'all just cried yourself out of the playoff picture. In all honesty, if you want me to be honest, Rudy Gobert come back after this game, then y'all might have a chance. But y'all not gonna beat the Lakers. Y'all not gonna beat the Lakers without him at all. And if Anthony Davis playing, y'all not gonna beat the Lakers without him at all.
With him.
You know Anthony
With
Davis
him.
playing.
And what you think, Will?
Man,
Lakers game. What you think, man?
man, I don't know if y'all seen the last game. LeBron is in playoff form already. He's not going for a play-in upset. This man was pulling from 30. He probably hit like 8 from 10 the last game from 3. Like, he letting it rip. He like, hey, it's time to go. And we've seen this for 20 seasons straight. The king comes and he comes to play. So I'm already knowing what that's going to be. Miami, you can never count them out. Atlanta, I feel like we've heard the story time and time again. I feel like Ice Trae is good, but they don't have enough to get over that hump. They still trying to figure themselves out as a young team. I feel like Miami will make quick work of them.
Okay. And for me, you know, with the Miami game, the Hawks fell to the Heat 3 times this year. I think they got 1 win. Yeah, they beat them 1 time this year, back in January. Other than that, Miami been serving them up. So I definitely see Jimmy Buckets going in a play-in mode, locking in his position. And as far as the Lakers go, I mean, y'all said it. Like, what more can I say? You don't got Rudy, you don't got Jaden, both defensive
Anchors for the team.
Defensive anchors for the team, and I just don't see. I mean, I see LeBron not even having the best game, and I'm still like, you know,
Fair.
Ant-Man got to go crazy. Cat back. Don't forget about sleep on Cat though. So I mean, I don't know, because I honestly wasn't considering the fact that Cat back. He ain't banging with AD though, so it really don't matter. You know, I definitely got. I don't know why I'm even. LA, man. LA definitely about to move forward. And I'm gonna hold y'all. We gonna. No, matter of fact, no. Who next? So if LA win, then they advance to the 7th seed, and Minnesota gotta play the loser of the
New Orleans,
the Pelicans OKC game. So Minnesota advance, you think they're gonna make the 8th seed, or you think they're gonna lose to OKC or New Orleans?
Truthfully, it's tight because New Orleans, without Zion, it's like Brandon Ingram can only do so much, and I can't see them really making a run. OKC, still like they're still a young team and they're not over that hump yet. I feel like they're not gonna make a run. I feel like Minnesota can beat both of those teams with Ant-Man and Cat.
So you think Minnesota, Denver, round 1?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. And that's if they beat the Lakers. Wait.
No, the Lakers.
Oh no, wait. I'm looking at the wrong bracket. Yeah.
No, the Lakers gonna go.
The Lakers gonna go play Memphis. Yeah.
So
which they probably gonna get smacked too.
So what you think? You think New Orleans or OKC can beat Minnesota?
I believe that New Orleans can beat Minnesota. I believe that New Orleans can beat Minnesota just based off the fact that they solid because they can move. I feel like they move the ball better than Minnesota does. As long as they get out and run and play how they play, because they got a dynamic kind of like a run and gun type of play for them. I don't know why I like New Orleans. I always seem to catch their games. They solid, and every time I catch a game, they seem to win. You know, with them being in the play-in right now, you know.
Well, make sure you watch that, because
I'm definitely gonna watch this game.
Even if they beat OKC, they're not beating Minnesota.
Here's the thing: I don't think that they'll beat OKC. OKC, they style of play compared to Minnesota style of play, I feel like OKC run a gun better than them. They a little more agile than they are. So
So you think New Orleans can beat Minnesota, but you don't think they're going to beat Oklahoma. So can Oklahoma beat Minnesota, or is this one of them they can beat?
That's what he just said. He said
Minnesota style of play is different than OKC style of play.
Right, of course.
So what I'm saying is that I honestly feel like I feel like Minnesota can beat OKC for sure. But I mean, a healthy Minnesota is definitely gonna beat New Orleans now. But a healthy New Orleans and a healthy Minnesota, I don't know.
Totally different story, right? You got Zion.
Yeah.
So just for clarity, if Minnesota
Take this
lose to the Lakers, who do you feel like they will be playing against?
New Orleans or OKC?
Right, because you said you don't think New Orleans can beat OKC.
I don't think New Orleans. It's probably gonna be OKC.
So OKC and Minnesota, who you got going to play Denver?
I'm gonna say Minnesota. Rudy come back second game. I'm gonna go Minnesota.
Minnesota?
I'm gonna go Minnesota.
And I got Minnesota.
Yeah.
All right, so over East, you got Toronto, Chicago,
Don't ask me that.
Miami, Atlanta. All right. Everybody pretty much agreed that Miami was going to advance to the 7th seed. So, do we feel like Toronto is going to beat Chicago or vice versa to go against Atlanta?
I feel like, Toronto got a little bit more playoff experience. Chicago, especially with the injuries that's been plagued with them all year or whatever, I feel like they haven't gotten it quite together just yet, and I feel like they'll be a quick, easy out. And I'm a Chicago fan. I like the team that they had, but like I said, injuries kind of plagued them, so they probably be a quick out. Toronto.
Yeah, I don't agree with you whatsoever in that situation. And I'm just going to say that based off of Chicago's hunger these last 10 games. In all honesty, they've been playing, bro. The record may not show, but just they tenacity, man. I feel like they hungry. I feel like they more hungry than Toronto is right now. So if my pick is Chicago, and if Chicago meet Atlanta, that's going to be a nice game that I'm going to want to watch because I'm going to root for Chicago, but I honestly feel like Atlanta could come up with the win. But I'm going Chicago both ways. So I feel like Chicago going to go get that FC, man.
And you feel like Toronto
versus say Toronto. Yeah. Toronto. I feel like they got some dogs.
So out of the Bulls v Raptors this season, Raptors got them twice. Bulls won a game. There is no way on God's green earth I'm gonna root against Chicago, especially for Toronto.
I'm sorry,
it's not happening.
Just won't happen.
And you being from Chicago, this has been a pretty chill episode. I think it'll only be right that we don't let the episode go through without
getting on his ass.
This man just rooted for Toronto? What? Yeah, easy out.
Who was over there? He said sweetie sweet. Like they
plagued with injuries.
Sweet.
Lonzo Ball? Like definitely a big factor, but who else has been? And I mean, we're good, bro. We're solid, right? And Toronto ain't the same Toronto was a few years ago.
He thinking
this playoff experience, Toronto.
He thinking Kawhi Leonard.
Toronto.
I feel like when it comes down to it, like especially with playoff atmospheres, having that experience does count. And Toronto, some of Toronto's players, they still have some of those core players that. When the lights is on, they'll do it. I feel like the Bulls, they gonna get up there
and they gonna work Toronto sleeves off, man.
I gotta see it to believe it, bro.
Hey, look,
I gotta see it to believe it.
I ain't gonna cap. Your take is not. Your take is fair.
It's not off.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not off.
They do have a core with more experience, and they've been playing together longer as well. So, we get you a plane ticket to Toronto or something. You acting like,
Bro,
but
y'all capping. I love the Bulls, but if you've been a sports fan in Chicago long enough, it's like, yo, I need show and prove. You feel me? It's like, hey, if y'all is good as we think y'all could be, then go prove it. Prove me wrong. I want to be proved wrong.
We know how I'm coming, man. I think that Miami gonna go ahead and get that 7th seed, and Chicago gonna go against Atlanta and edge them. You know what I'm saying? Probably be a close game. You know, expect Trey to come with it. Expect Zach to come with it. And I think that we got Milwaukee, Chicago round 1, and we might be looking at a sweep.
Might be, more likely.
You know, a couple years ago, we got gentlemen swept. We got a game out of them. So,
yeah, that was all right.
But at least we get to see some more Chicago.
Playoff
at least 4 more games.
Give me some playoff in Chicago.
All right, so man,
playoffs in Chicago would definitely be lit.
It's always
man, stop playing. So
fun.
Moving out of the play-in into the playoffs, we got some interesting matchups, man. One of the most interesting matchups that intrigues me is the Phoenix Clippers matchup. Okay, both of them acquired high-level talent during the trade deadline. Both of them got winning records since. And of course, the elephant in the room, you got Russ versus KD. Right, so how excited are you? And what's your take on who's going to come out victorious on this Clippers-Phoenix matchup?
My take on Phoenix and the Clippers. Phoenix is always going to be super solid Devin Booker. You understand what I'm saying? You got Chris Paul, who just had a career night. You got Kevin Durant, who is just automatic. Clip show? My sleeper team? Yeah, my underdog team who really gonna win. You know what I'm saying? These guys gonna they gonna give Phoenix a run for their money. I'm talking about a super run for their money to the point where Phoenix is gonna have to come up with a little more defense because the Clippers is they at full blast right now. They pretty healthy right now, and I don't see nobody beating them in the first round right now.
Paul George.
Oh, Jesus. But they saying Paul George gonna miss some in his first round for sure. They saying he gonna miss some in the first round. No, honestly.
So does that change the way you see the Clippers or this series?
No,
or
I don't.
So despite Paul George, you think that the Clippers can edge the Phoenix Suns?
I honestly believe so.
Reach.
Wow. And the only reason y'all saying it's a reach is because Paul George gone. But y'all got reach. KD there. Y'all got Kawhi Leonard over here. You understand what I'm saying? KD and Kawhi, you don't knock Kawhi. We're not gonna knock the defense on Kawhi. Bro. Then you got defensive sets with this Clipper team. Y'all gotta understand that they're a different Clipper team with this man on their team now.
Like I like Terrence Mann, but
they play.
I'm not seeing him being what Paul George. Giving him what Paul George is not going to get him.
Nobody's ever going to replace Paul George. Let's just keep that.
They got a deficit to make up with Paul George being out.
And they got the Phoenix Suns.
The only thing that they have to make up for at this point, right now, the Clippers, the only thing they have to make up for is offense. Okay? That Paul George is definitely going to be missing. They're going to be missing him as far as offensive go.
And defense. How are you?
Indeed. How?
What do you mean? If Paul George is such a big contributor defensively, how would they not have to make up for that?
He's an offensive. Paul George be getting worked defensively all year. I'm just gonna say that
Paul George is a solid wing defender. So
you got
Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and they got some of the best wing players, guard forwards. I mean, I ain't gonna say KD a guard forward. Guard and forward in Devin Booker and Kevin Durant that they about to go against. Like the offensive firepower is like if you ain't talking Luka, Kyrie, or Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, you talking KD, And not to mention your boy Chris Paul might give you 4 threes on some sleepers. Like, what are we talking about? Like, they don't have to worry about their defense.
You honestly think so? You honestly believe that? What do you feel like this is going to be? You don't feel like this is going to be a game 7? Because I feel like it's going to be
not without Paul George.
Not without Paul George. What you feel like? 4,
I think with Paul George it could have been, I say it could have been 7 games only because the Suns still fresh, but they're undefeated fresh. So I mean, yeah, they ain't played together much, but they ain't lost together much either.
You want to know something? KD fits in the Suns so well that I'm talking about he came through and it seems almost seamless, bro. Like he just walked right through it. But my thing is this though. I'm going with this clip show because I feel like everybody on the clip show, except for the injured Paul George right now, is playoff ready. I've been watching these guys play lately, and I feel like the whole team as a whole, I feel like they unit playoff ready. I ain't taking nothing from the Suns. We not taking nothing from the Suns. I'm saying the Suns is so cold that they need to go up against Golden State at this point for me to feel like, all right, they're going to get beat.
Man, Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant have not played each other in the playoff in their careers against each other. KD averaging like 32, Russ averaging damn near triple double with 28, 10 and 9.5
in the playoffs.
No, this is just against each other. They haven't met in the playoffs since they haven't been teammates. So that's their first playoff.
I like that stat.
This their first playoff meeting. So, man, I think Russ has been a better fit on the Clippers than the Lakers. Stats kind of similar, but just the eye test, I feel like as a Clipper, he been better. I don't think that the Clippers have enough
firepower.
Not just firepower, but just enough on both ends of the floor to keep up with Phoenix. Now, if Russ averaged like 25 in a series or something, then, right? You know what I'm saying? Maybe, but I don't even want to put that on Russ. It's not, you know what I mean? He might be a second option, or he might be viewed as somebody who should be a second option now that Paul George gone. But that's what it about take for me, though. Like, for Russ to activate, and I'm just not.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe and then defensively, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, I don't.
So I'm trying to.
Zubac not finna be able to keep up with Aiden.
Bruh, y'all being too nice.
Y'all really sitting here.
Y'all being too nice to the Clippers. We've seen this story time and time again. Clippers could look like the greatest team into the playoffs. I got them getting bounced out in the first round in 5 games. Easy. In 5. Easy. Bye-bye Clippers. It's over with for y'all. Russ, no more revenge.
Now, would you feel the same if Paul George was healthy?
If Paul George was healthy, I'd give them 7 games, but they still getting bounced. Suns are just too good. They're too efficient.
We're going to see, okay? Because this is the first round matchup. And honestly, this might be the most exciting one for me. I just can't wait to see these Clippers give y'all everything that y'all been sitting here throwing at them. Y'all going to have to eat this, boy, because I don't think Kawhi here to play with y'all. And the way y'all coming at Russ right now, I hope he see this. Hey, talk to your mans and them, Russ, because they don't got no faith in you, my man. At this point, y'all got to have some type of faith in Russ, man. If you don't, all the numbers don't line. All that
ain't about Russ. Hey. It's about the fact that they missing an integral player on both ends of the floor. It's about.
So would you say the Clippers would win if they didn't have Kawhi?
No, they wouldn't do anything without Kawhi.
And Paul George is an integral part of that team and that offense.
Do you feel like Paul George and Russell Westbrook will make more noise opposed to Russell Westbrook and Kawhi?
I feel like Paul George and Russell Westbrook already had that. Like, they have that camaraderie already. So it's like we already seen what that can do, and it didn't get them past the first round. It didn't get them past the first round. I think Kawhi and
Paul
Russ.
George and Russ would do better than Kawhi and Russ.
No, I'm saying either one is still a L in the first round. Simple as that. I don't care if Man and Russ average 50, they still
How
get
about
bounced
this?
in the first round.
How about this? Another thing.
I mean, you
Another
sound
thing.
crazy, but
A little bit. But how about this, right? We just gonna say this, and this is my last point on these guys. This is my last point on these two teams.
yeah, because I do want to transition into another series that I think is going to be electrifying. But go ahead.
This is my last point on these two teams. If you get, I don't even remember my point. I forgot it. Never mind, guys. That's the
All right, so the first round matchup that I think I'm most excited to see, outside of, I ain't gonna lie, the Phoenix Clippers, I want to see how they come in, but is the Knicks Cleveland. I just feel like that's gonna be game 7. I think it'll be close games. I think if you sleeping on Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, wake up. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Spider over there led the Cleveland Cavaliers to the 4th seed. So, him and Darius Garland, they both healthy. I just think that series is about to be something crazy. You know what I mean? Then you got LeVert and Jared Allen over there who about to be twin towering with Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I just want to see how this matchup gonna look, man. What's the what matchup y'all most excited about seeing this postseason?
I'm ready to watch Boston play. I'm ready to see who they gonna play. They waiting to see who they gonna play too at this point. You know what I mean? I wanna see Boston gonna play, and I wanna see who Milwaukee gonna play. Them the two series I'm most excited about. As far as the East goes.
Both the teams they're gonna win. Well, why are you excited about that?
I'm excited to see.
You want to see Milwaukee sweep the 8th seed?
I'm excited to see
they
them
play. Why are you?
I'm excited to see them play. I'm excited to see them play the same team over and over again. And I'm excited to see how
It's
this
only
team.
gonna happen 4 times.
I'm excited to see these teams play, bro. Because the next, now honestly, the first round of the playoffs is cool. It's just like you said, you feel that tension in the air. We getting ready for the playoffs, man. This is the road to the big chip. So look, the one I'm most excited about in the first round is the Boston game. Okay, I don't care who they play. I just want to see Jason Tatum redeem himself from scoring 19 points. Okay, while he got murderized. And then you got Jaylen Brown not playing. Why you only got 19 points, fam? I'm mad at that. I don't like that. Oh, hey, JT, get on your man.
But when I called him inconsistent,
Whatever.
y'all was saying I was reaching. But point proven.
It is a reach.
What about you, Will? Who you most excited to see, man?
Man, for me, it's probably Golden State. I'm trying to see if they as focused as I think they might be, and if they are, they could really make a run. I don't know.
I think that's probably third for me too, and mainly because they don't got home court advantage. So if they can beat Sacramento without home court advantage,
Yeah.
ooh.
But I don't know because
Sacramento been balling. They got the number 1 offense.
that's
Been
what
balling.
I want to see. It's like they got to come out and really show something. And this is one of the first times that Golden State has really had to do this in a while, being an underdog in the situation. If they respond to the adversity,
The underdog.
I'm finna say, I get that they the 6th seed, but
I
you think
would
the
not call them
3rd seed
underdog.
is
on the
an
road and they the worst
inexperienced
road
young
team. They the worst road team.
Right, but they going against a team that ain't made the
during the
playoffs since you
season.
was in 6th grade.
During the season, and then you talking about these. You talking about we done three-peated. We talking about we just won last year.
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm going for the Warriors to win it all, but this first round will tell you where their head is at because they'd have to face that adversity of winning on the road. We know that they haven't been able to do that this season in particular. So it's like they're gonna have to come out and win this first round on the road, and that could catapult them to straight to the finals.
I honestly believe that they will win this first round. No, he feel like this the. No.
All right, fellas. So I'm gonna go down each game on the first round, and I want to get y'all predictions on who gonna move forward to the second round. All right. So over on the Western Conference, we don't know who Denver is gonna go against, right? You said
Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, Denver.
Right, same. What about the Lakers and Memphis? Presuming the Lakers make it out of the play-in.
Lakers.
I'm gonna have to go with Memphis.
I'm gonna have to go with the Lakers. I think the Lakers is gonna edge them. LeBron ain't for none. I'm not a LeBron fan, guys. Don't crucify me, right? Shout out to Trey, but all right. So, what about Golden State, Sacramento?
Golden State.
Golden State.
Golden State,
Definitely.
Okay. Same.
What you think?
Same.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Golden State.
It's a strong reach.
Okay, let's dig a little deeper. At how many?
6.
For the Golden State game? If they really come out on their P's and Q's, yeah, it's probably about 6.
I'm gonna give it to them at 5.
True.
All right. So what about the Clippers and the Suns?
Suns at 4.
Clippers at 7.
Hey, that's how I feel about your team.
Clippers.
Suns at 4.
Clip show. 7 games.
Sweep show.
I think Suns.
4 games.
I think Suns in 6. All right. Moving on to the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee. You know, let's say Milwaukee, Chicago.
They
Milwaukee,
beating whoever
Toronto.
they play.
All right.
Chicago. I'm rooting
Boston
for y'all,
beating
but
whoever they play.
Boston beating whoever they play. What about Philly and Brooklyn?
Philly.
yes.
And how
Easy.
many?
6.
Oh, I won't even say 6. I'm gonna say 5. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say 5.
They're going to make quick work of them boys.
I'm gonna go Philly in 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Philly. They're just tough because Mikal Bridges been going crazy and Brooklyn ain't been looking bad, man. Still kind of a newer squad though, so
Going up against.
yeah, I'm gonna say in 5.
Yes, sir.
What about where we at? What about Cleveland and New York?
Now that there,
Man.
personal. Then I'll give you reasons behind it.
Go crazy.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Knickerbockers. All right. I'm gonna go with the New York Knickerbockers, and yeah, I do not believe that.
Oh, man.
I don't think that I don't think the team as a whole is strong enough to beat them. Yeah, it's the full team. I ain't gonna give you no reason behind it. We're gonna go Knicks. I like Julius Randle over Spider Mitchell right now. He's been consistently giving you 25. I'll take Julius Randle.
I always look at the story of the franchise, and until Knicks prove me otherwise, I think they're going to keep getting bounced in the first round. I got Cleveland in 6.
Cleveland in 6.
New York in 7.
That's my pick. You took the words right out of my mouth. New York in 7, man. I don't know, man. It's just something about JB and Julius, man. Like Darius Garland, I just think he's solid. It's just something about Jalen though. It's like a certain dog in him that I see that I don't see in Darius just quite yet. But you know, we'll see how everything shape out when the playoffs start and the opportunity is there for bro. He might go crazy. So I ain't gonna sell him short, but I definitely think that New York gonna get him in 7. And again, it's my most anticipated series. I want to see the most on the Eastern Conference. All right, man. We had another great episode, man. Shout out my bro Will for coming through.
Word.
Artty Bucco. Shout out my bro Trey. Big thanks to Royalty Productions, the Covers Network. Chep.
Triple threat, shoot, dribble, pass, man, we cover ball like we in the net. Triple threat, Trey, Art, and Chep, you could catch us all.
Yo, Artty Bucco, Triple Threat Show. Check us out every Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. Love.
Triple threat, shoot, dribble, pass, maybe cover ball like we in the net. Triple threat, Trey, Art, and Chep, you can catch us all on the internet. Triple threat.